Hello, welcome to the second episode of I Can See in the Making. My name is Fran.
I'm Romy, and we're Adora, your favorite music duo. In this space, we're going to be interviewing a range of people who we think have the drive and the passion to become the next big thing. So you get to know them before everyone else.
These are people that inspire us for so many reasons, who we think have a lot to say about the story, the life and the vision. So without further ado, let's get on with the next guest. We are at the studio. She's a fashion designer who's been making waves on the London fashion scene. But she's originally from Cyprus. She's been in the UK for 11 years and she already owns her own brand.
So yeah, her brand, named after herself, has appeared in the likes of Elle Magazine, Wonderland, Pop Magazine, F Words, to name a few, and more recently in Greece's Next Top Model. And we've also seen some really cool people wearing her clothes lately.
A lot of cool musicians.
Rina's how I...
These are her cats.
Sorry, I was trying to keep it cool, but... we've seen some really cool people like Rina Sawayama and Dylan wearing her designs on stage.
Yeah, as of late, she just organised an independent fashion showroom with independent designers, and she just released her new collection, which is available on her website, and you should definitely check it out.
So yeah, we had the pleasure of having this icon in the making put on a runway show at our event, The Sound of Fashion, earlier this year, which we'll obviously get into in due course. But for now, let us introduce to you Christiana Hadjipapa. How are you?
Thank you for having me.
It's fine. I'm the cat.
We must say, a bit of a disclaimer.
Yeah, we must say this is the second time we filmed this interview because we had some technical problems in the last time that we did it.
Which happens because it was our first time. So
it was our first time, but we are so thankful that you let us do it again because the first interview was actually very interesting. To be honest, I loved it. So let's get on with this one.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start at the beginning. Can you share with us your story, how you got to London, how long you've been here, all that kind of thing?
I came here for studying.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you study?
I study fashion design in the Montfort University in Leicester. Mm-hmm. So after my studies, I won the British Fashion Council warehouse competition, and that was my first experience working in the industry, I would say.
Yeah.
So basically the prize was that I would make a more commercial version of my graduate collection.
Yeah, we had a peek.
Which was launched in February 2015.
Okay.
Long time ago in Oxford Street. Which was like such a surreal experience.
How was that like? How did it feel to have like your straight out of uni?
It was, you know what, it was absolutely amazing because obviously coming from a really small town, having my clothes in such a massive street, like it was something so surreal. But it was a very important start of my career, I would say, because it was like a good boost, confidence boost after the graduate.
Yeah, it's so necessary, I think, because especially the start is just difficult because you're by yourself.
Yeah,
mostly.
oh my god, yeah.
So
does it still feel kind of like difficult now that you've gone from that? You now own your brand. You've been doing it for a long time. Does it feel like easier, or does it feel still like challenging?
I think there is challenges still. Throughout the whole process. Obviously, it's not the same. Like I don't think you ever know what you're doing. To be honest,
that's so true.
Because like you've never done that journey before, so you're just going with the flow and trying to resolve any problems that come across and stuff like that. So it's. I don't think that feeling ever goes away.
I think you change and the problems change as well.
Yeah, so like you get more mature, you deal with things differently, I guess. So no.
But yeah, that's good. How does your brand work and how did you come about creating it? So you did the warehouse collection and then from there till the point in which you're now, what has been happening during that time?
I'm going to say that cliche thing that I always wanted to have my own brand and other things, but like I wanted to do it at my own pace. Yeah. So obviously I graduated in 2014, which was a long time ago. But I wanted to gain experience from the industry first because I really wanted to have the knowledge how to start a brand, how a business is run and stuff like that. So I was kind of gathering all the information I was getting from all the different fashion jobs and fashion brands I was working with. And understanding, because at the end of the day you're selling a product and you have to understand what commercial you know, how it
Yeah,
works.
you need to understand how to sell.
Yeah, how to be creative and commercial at the same time, because you know, you need
that's
to
like you need to live.
yeah,
exactly.
you need to live. So I think it's one thing that coming out of university, you always like super creative and create something so like not easy to wear. So I think it's a very important thing to understand throughout the years and mature your aesthetic, you know.
I think it's something difficult to understand for some people, and I understand why it is difficult to understand. That was a lot of understands. But yeah, obviously, I think any creative just wants to create mostly. But there are like all these other sides to, you know, having your own brand. For us being our own managers and acting as our own record label and everything.
And I feel like it is
So
as
many different
important
jobs.
as even as the product and the art that you create, because if you create something that, as you mentioned, no one can wear or no one can afford or no one
will get to see,
no one finds about it, you know, all that kind of stuff, that is just like, what's the point then, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the point obviously of art is, you know, you create it because it makes you feel good. It's an expression of yourself in one way or another, I think, at least. But obviously, if you're trying to make a living out of it,
it's finding that balance. I think it doesn't mean making it more commercial doesn't mean it loses its beauty. It's,
I agree.
You know,
it's just doing it in another way. You know,
it's just playing the game. I think it's learning about, you know, the game and doing your best to play it while staying true to yourself and to your work.
I do feel like now there's like a very fine line, talking about in terms of music, I don't know in terms of fashion, but like for me at least, there's like a really fine line between playing the game, you know, and trying not to fall into the loophole of just doing what everyone else is doing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, 100%.
Because you see someone that is successful in something, or you see something that is doing well.
Like some strategy or whatever.
You can't, I would say, like, you get influenced by everything that surrounds you. So I think that's how trends work as well. Yeah. So I think subconsciously you're still a little bit influenced by the trends, what's happening around. But yeah, it's what you're saying. It's at the same time you have to be original. You have to make sure you're bringing something new to the table and you're not copying whatever, you know.
And I think that's the point.
I think you have to understand as well, like every creative has to, that your path is not going to be like anyone else's.
No.
As much as you try to follow in someone's footsteps, it's just not going to be the same thing.
No, it's never the same. I think it's all about...
You just have to go through it.
I think it's all about luck as well.
Luck.
This, working hard and luck. Yeah. Perfect timing. You know, all these things. So
I've always thought that...
I don't know what I think about luck.
I've always...
you don't think about luck.
I do, but I don't want to succumb to the idea that it's totally out of my control.
No, I've always thought that you create the luck. Like
if you're working hard and you take every opportunity, there's more possibility.
Exactly. Yeah. So if the luck, if there was like a chance between like 1 in a million, you reduce that possibility to maybe 1 in 100. You know?
Yeah, see, exactly. I can agree with that. I just don't like the idea. To me, the idea that, you know, it's just luck. I feel like we can use it as an excuse to not work harder because, I just had bad luck.
Oh no.
But
no.
I don't think that's helpful.
What I say with luck, it's like if at that right moment, that right person was there, that's gonna, you know, help you
for sure
to move further in your career. You know, it's all about that, isn't it?
But that's the thing. Putting your work in front of people is what gets you there.
Yeah,
exactly. At the same time, if you don't put that, for example, if someone comes to your showroom and proposes you with a cool opportunity or something, if you didn't put the time to organize that opportunity wouldn't be there, you know. So that's what I always mean about like kind of like building your own luck. And then there's always that factor of being in the right time and the right place, you know, with the right people.
100%.
That also plays a huge part.
You can definitely put yourself in the right places with the right people as much as you can and just try and work your way in, because eventually that's how people do it.
It's all about the people, the right people. It's all about the connections. You know,
do you network a lot? Do you, like in London, do you go around like to a lot of fashion events, meeting people?
How do you find that? Because that's like another job in itself, you know?
You know, I don't do that as much.
Yeah.
But I'm very online based.
Yeah.
So I do... but I also do a lot of events. So like
Yeah.
I take part in a lot of pop-ups. So I would say that's how it got me into this kind of networking.
Yeah.
And my first ever pop-up was in February this year.
That was the one at Lone Design Club.
Lone Design Club. Yeah, that was my first ever like pop-up.
That's where we met.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
it's true.
officially met.
Yeah. It's
But
true.
as you say, we had met online.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
feel like, but I would say my main social networking, it's online. But then it's completely different meeting people physically.
Oh yeah.
Because you really have to put yourself out there. So I would say it's just as important to go to events or like even the pop-ups or launch parties. Not
But it's the same that we were talking about. I feel like the foundation right now, you do it online.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then when you go to an event, someone will recognize you because of your work or whatever.
Or they will like look for that legitimacy.
Yeah.
Or like proof that, you know, you have like something in common. Something of interest or whatever. And that they'll find online, essentially.
Yeah,
it's just how we all do it, which is it's crazy. But I agree. Like when you meet people in real life, I think everyone is so much more captivating than online.
Yeah, for sure.
But I also think that everyone can look really good online. But then
in
I don't
person,
know, things change. But I think one thing you miss online is that energy of meeting someone for the first time.
Yeah.
And that first impression kind of thing. And that's just like, everyone's so much better when you get to actually speak to them,
to interact with them.
Yeah.
You know, in person. Yeah.
How do you find that social media helps with your brand? Because you put a lot of work.
Yeah, I would say that's the main thing for me because believe it or not, my main customer base is not UK.
Oh, really?
So
Where is it?
It's all around, but I would say USA mostly. I don't know if it's the cowboy theme,
That's interesting.
But the other day I had a
What part?
Texas order the other day, which is but I guess it's the cowboy theme.
Yeah.
But I do get a lot of European as well.
Yeah.
Not from Cyprus, mainly like.
Yeah.
Do you get people from Spain?
I haven't got Spain. I got Italy, Germany, Switzerland. Is that Europe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And then I had Paris, but no, not Spain.
All right.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. But what was I saying? Oh, the online.
Yeah, social media.
The social media, yes. So that's the main thing for me. I would say since obviously I started pushing with the pop-ups and all these things, the events, the social media picked up a lot and I got a lot more visibility than I used to. So I think for me, it's like the most important thing. I would say Instagram was the most important thing in developing the brand, for sure.
I wanted to ask, because we feel like for us it's similar in a way.
I feel like it's the same for everyone right now. But not everyone, because
not everyone
it's very online.
likes
Everything
it.
is very online. So I think,
but it's not
everyone
easy.
enjoys it, so.
Not everyone enjoys it. It's really hard in terms of like organization. I feel like.
Oh
like,
God,
you need
it's
to
a whole different job.
Exactly.
I'm telling you.
Like,
Yeah.
it is so, and it is so draining as well. You know, sometimes.
It really is. Like, I find it more emotionally draining than a lot of other jobs I have to do.
Yes.
Like admin stuff. I don't find that draining.
No.
In comparison. Not even like legal stuff. Because that's just like, I don't know, I feel like a bit more straightforward. You go online, you look for some information, you get it done. You know, you speak to some people.
You get a lawyer.
Yeah. But I mean, like admin stuff and whatever, you speak to some people and, you know, you get it done. But when it's social media, I think it's so subjective because different things work for different people at different times. Trends change. Social media sites change all the time. And you always have to be, you know, on the know.
You always
and just,
have
like,
to
on
be
your
on
knees.
it.
You're always
It's
on
true.
not on your knees, on your toes.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is a bit stressful sometimes.
I don't know how TikTok works because I don't really
Yeah.
use it, but you guys are like really good.
That's
at
our
TikTok.
focus.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
focus.
focusing right now in more like, we used to focus a lot on pictures because we love shoots.
Yeah,
Photo
we love
shoots,
creative
video
direction
shoots.
as well.
So
gosh.
we used to, we just had the cat,
Yeah,
the
it's just
cat
like
running around.
Just switching off the
yeah, pulling the cable.
there it is.
Say it. Okay.
But yeah, literally we were really focused on photos. We bought that camera actually to start taking photos at the beginning of our music.
This is like ages ago.
And then now we're shifting more into video, which is a challenge in itself. But it's really fun as well.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's something really big now, like trending. It's like the competitor of Instagram. So
yeah,
so
and also
it's
like having kind of like having your music and being able. What we realized as well is just like people don't watch music videos anymore.
Yeah, which is so sad.
It's sad,
like,
isn't it?
We did a music video with Alejandro, which is behind the cameras. And that music video we put so much energy into it. We put it up online. It's such a good
video as well.
And got like 1,000 views, and then we can make a TikTok, like literally for 10 seconds promoting the song, and it gets like triple.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
and
the thing,
you didn't
isn't
spend
it?
any time, any money.
So for us now, we don't have label, we don't have management. We really have to adapt and just find the solutions that work best for us and that are most cost efficient as well and realistic, because we're literally a 2-man show. Yeah. Because we're two, but it's just us. We don't really have like a solid team right now, so yeah, it's difficult to compromise those things though.
Yeah, it's true.
And I feel like you can probably relate, because starting a brand by yourself, there's a lot of investment that goes into it at first. 100%. And a lot of things you have to sacrifice. Also knowing that if you sacrifice them now, it might mean that in the future you might get to do them the way you want.
Exactly.
But you're never certain of that. So I don't know. How do you manage that?
Well, I started the brand completely alone.
Yeah.
Which was during lockdown.
Yeah.
So
wait, during lockdown?
It was during lockdown, yes.
That is the second designer now that we have on the show that has started during lockdown, and they're doing just amazing.
I am so shook.
Yeah, it's during lockdown. What? Yeah.
Because I did discover you during lockdown.
Yeah, that's
on
when
Instagram,
I started.
But wow. I did not know this about you.
The brand is gonna be 2 years old end of January.
What day do you launch?
31st of January.
Wow.
Of 2021.
Yeah.
That's a week away from when we launched Adora.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We launched early February, right?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, first song came out.
So 21 was like the best.
Yeah. Fucking hell. It's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But now, from that moment to now, you've built kind of like a small team, right?
Yes, I have.
Last time when we were recording the interview here, you had your
my assistant. Yeah. The thing is that I started completely alone. Everything, like social media, everything, the construction, the designing. It was intense. So it took me a whole year just to build the first collection.
Yeah.
But my first collection was huge as well. It was 50 pieces.
Whoa.
50?
Yes, 50 individual pieces.
Wait, you created
like
a brand and
already.
did all of the behind the scenes work and created a 50-piece collection in 1 year. That's still
in 1 year.
insane.
Yes. Basically, my whole idea was just to experiment the first collection, see what works. That's why I wanted to make a big collection with different styles.
Yeah.
And just see the reaction, because that's the first time I put my work out there. So, I thought that was the time to just go for it. And since I didn't have any other like expenses, it was just me.
Yeah.
I just went for it.
Nice.
And I would say since the second collection, that's when it started to
pick up
from February onwards. And that's when I started to bring in more people for help. So nice. I do have Simela, who is my stylist / art director. We've been working together since the first collection. So she came in as a stylist for the lookbook, and then we just got on really well, and her aesthetic is completely different to mine, but it kind of works perfectly. So I thought she would bring something new to the brand.
Yeah.
And combining the two aesthetics together, it just really worked. Especially the last collection, that's the one that we designed together. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and then Cindy, who is my pattern cutter / sample machinist, I would say.
Yeah.
So she helps with the construction, and then the social media is just me now. Mm-hmm. I used to have someone before that helped with social media for a little bit, but then now it's just me. Nice. So So there's three people in the team.
Yeah, it's still a small team.
I remember-
you
Still
still
a small
do
team,
a
yeah.
lot of stuff.
I remember at the casting for the Sound of Fashion, I remember you came with your team. And
Yes.
it
Oh
was-
my god.
and it was so impressive to see
It was like
because
Charlie's Angels.
it came out of a movie literally because you were there with wearing your design.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
wearing
And
my
it was
design.
matching your
Matching
hairstyle.
hair.
Matching my
Makeup.
And you were matching the whole collection as well.
Yeah,
and
it
then
was
you
so
had
good.
your
subconsciously matching with everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you had your team there. I remember it was just like from a movie.
It was so
Really?
good, yeah. Yeah, we spoke about this. It was so good. It was so good to see you so organized and just, wanting to do things to the best of your ability. I think that's an energy that we feed off a lot. And I don't know, we're so happy that you were involved in the Sound of Fashion. I wanted to ask how you found the experience of
Oh, I absolutely loved
the
it.
collection and working with Chinchilla as well.
The whole experience was incredible. I've
Yeah.
never had a catwalk before,
Yeah.
so it was like a whole different experience. The casting, the working with the artists.
Yeah, I had never done casting before.
No, never done
It was very
casting.
fun,
It
yeah.
was really, really nice just to
Yeah.
to see the whole process, and
Yeah.
and it was a massive learning curve, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I would say that like my favorite part was working with Chinchilla, I have to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
It was lovely having her here, talking about how we were going to present the collection, how she was going to present her songs, and,
Yeah.
and the outfit that she was going to wear, and yeah, it just all came together really well. And you guys
You
were very
designed a
professional.
killer
Yeah.
outfit.
Just to put everyone into context, so we did the Sound of Fashion, which was an event where Christiana was doing a runway show with
Yes.
an artist, Chinchilla, and they both did a collaborative kind of runway, and Chinchilla wore a really
Christiana's
cool
clothes.
outfit
Yeah.
that you put on, and that was amazing, to
Yeah,
be
it was,
honest.
it was great. It was
It's
great. We had a
amazing.
few like music and fashion runway shows with like live music, and it was just great, honestly.
was-
But now you're planning your own fashion
Yeah.
runway. That's gonna be the
Yes.
first one, right?
My first solo one, yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
How do you feel about that?
I'm super excited. At the same time, I'm a perfectionist, so I put a lot of
Same.
pressure on myself
Yeah.
in terms of like I want it to be perfect, and especially because it's the first time I'm doing some like a catwalk solo, so I
Yeah.
just want it to be the best that it can be.
Yeah.
But it's very exciting, super exciting.
Yeah.
Are you
That
gonna be
was-
presenting the latest collection?
Yeah, so it's basically gonna be the latest collection, but the latest collection was more like a capsule.
Yeah.
It's quite small.
So you're gonna expand it.
We're gonna expand it,
Nice.
hopefully.
Oh, can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So we're planning to have menswear and women's wear. So
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
That's the
Nice
first
one.
time you're doing menswear, is it?
I would say I would say
mean,
my clothing is genderless,
very
but
unisex,
Because
yeah.
men have worn, and like, all kinds of people
I
have
do
worn
think-
your
Oh,
clothes.
yeah.
Yeah, I do think that a lot of pieces that you have, for example, the jeans that are black
Yes.
and red with the top, that's something that I would love to see.
More
more
menswear.
you
Yeah.
know
Again,
that
like,
jeans
we all
actually
believe that-
most of my clients
Yeah.
are men that
Ah,
bought
right.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah.
That's so good to hear because I used to work in a shop and there were these like really nice pair of jeans, and I always thought more guys should just like come in
Go
and try
for it.
them.
Yeah,
Or like
it's true.
just more different kinds of people because it was always kind of the same people that gravitated towards them, and I was
Yeah.
like, these have so much potential, and I would always try to upsell them to people and like, I think this would look great on you,
Yeah.
and some people were just not
Like,
there for
no.
it. They were also high-waisted and flared, and I feel like not everyone likes that.
Oh yeah.
I feel,
You know,
Yeah,
but-
that's
yours
literally
are
Yeah,
high
yours-
waisted and flared.
But
Exactly.
Those are my
it's such
favorite
a-
ones, to be honest. High waisted and flare.
It's
Just-
such a flattering fit.
Yeah.
It is.
And it's so classic. Also very inspired by 70s and stuff. And I wanted to touch on your inspirations because I know from like other conversations we've had that you get like quite inspired by music and
yeah.
eras and like past eras and stuff like that.
I would
What
say I
influences you
get
the most?
my childhood is the main inspiration, I would say, because
Okay.
Really?
obviously I was from a really small place, and my only way of being inspired is by looking online, and back then MTV, like, you know what we were saying about music videos and all these things. Like that was the main inspiration for me.
MTV was so good
in terms of like finding my style, how I dressed. I was envying like all these clothes and like I wanted to be like them, you know. And I feel like my design aesthetic is really inspired by the pop artists of my childhood. So like Britney Spears,
nice.
Christina Aguilera, Pink.
Oh my god, I love Pink.
Yeah, I would, and Beyonce. Not as much Beyonce, I would say, but you know, like that, those kind of artists during that era. So
all the pop girlies, Y2K pop.
Exactly. And what makes me really happy is that I can see that all these trends are coming back. So I'm like, wow,
it's so exciting.
It kind of brings back those memories, which make me feel happy. So I guess that's the main inspiration.
Yeah, I think you one time said something about like memorabilia of your past, which was something I really like to hear.
Yeah.
Would you love to see like any of your designs on those people?
Oh my god.
Who would be your dream?
Well, Rihanna would be my dream.
Okay. You knew that off the top of your head.
Yeah, of course. Like, Rihanna was like my number one like fashion icon since I was how old was I? Like 15, 16. But yeah, I would love, because like she's such a strong woman, business mind. She's always on point. She's always on trend. I don't understand how all these years, how long she's been
going
in the
for
spotlight,
a while.
you know?
Oh, she's been going
always on the spotlight, but
she was 18 as well at the first time, I think.
I feel like this recent years she hasn't been on the spotlight.
She has put distance.
She has been with her businesses.
Exactly.
Like,
that's really cool, because it's not like some press kind of like following her because of her relationship. She's breaking up with boyfriend,
it's
like whatever they always do. But now it's just like because of her work. And not even music, it's just like because of her brand.
For brand.
But I do hate that, because as you say, sometimes, I mean many times, you know, all the headlines are about who they're dating and all the gossip in their lives, and it's so sad because a lot of these people, like Rihanna, like, you know, all the famous people that we see on the press, they are so much more interesting and so much more valuable than just like all the gossip about them.
And they always do it to girls. You know? They always do it to women.
Yeah, and you have to like prove yourself so much.
True.
They always do it. Like people like Taylor Swift, for example. You can see that example. She's had it like.
They've been so rough on her because she's just a sweet girl.
And they haven't.
She's nice, so.
And they've just done that, especially the press. Like I think it's getting a bit better now, but it's just been like that. For all the women that kind of like got into a position, into a really good position, you know, and that they were trying to kind of like break boundaries and.
I mean, whether you do good or you do bad as a woman, like there's gonna be people on top of you, criticizing you. So that just sucks. But I think we can talk about even that. I think the fashion industry is probably one of the few in which there's more women, generally speaking, doing more roles than men. But how do you view that? Because obviously you'll know better than us.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, I was going to say like...
I agree with that either.
Because...
I agree and disagree. Like, I know I'm playing devil's advocate, but I want to hear like...
I think it's more equal. It's I would say it's the only industry that's equal.
Okay.
Because you get some incredible female brands and some incredible male brands, male designers I'm talking about. But I think it's the only industry that's actually equal.
Yeah.
That
must be quite refreshing. I mean,
to be honest, I can see that as well. And also in music, I study music business, and like that's not a position, that's not a job role that many women would do, you know, something
have been doing
in the past.
They've not been allowed, essentially.
In my graduation, it was just like 2 guys, and all the rest of the class was women, and it's so amazing.
Women and non-binary people and everything. So it's just good to hear.
It's so amazing
good to hear, good to see.
We're seeing this shift completely, at least in the music industry, obviously, and like people like Taylor Swift and Rosalia. We saw yesterday Dua Lipa being like. Kind of like most successful musicians.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's cool that in the fashion industry that's already kind of like
a bit more like parallel.
I guess but still, because even back in the day, you get Gianni Versace, who was like massive, and then you get Valentino. You know, there was a lot of male. Even back in the day, where men weren't supposed to be in fashion, you know, into fashion. Yeah. But there was still.
Like, you know what I feel like it could have been, like it could be, is that I feel like there's way more, you know, creative directors and top designers that are men. Yeah. And then there's way more women doing all the other jobs like styling and modeling and, you know, all the other jobs. I mean, as you say, it is very, like, it's equal in comparison to other industries.
Yeah, I would say it's more.
But I would make a point, I think, that a lot of the top, like, recognition type people, you know, the ones that we know of at least, a lot of them are men. But there's also then this Miuccia Prada.
I also think
the Chanel.
I think with these things it varies because unfortunately fashion industry is very intense. So it doesn't mean that a woman can't handle it. It's just sometimes a woman's priorities may change in terms of like, because we have the maternity kind of feeling that might not happen.
I mean, sometimes because we just have our periods and we can't do anything about it.
No, but
we can't do anything about it.
That's what you're saying, because like at least in the music industry, there's women that have make it really far into the music industry, especially that work behind the scenes. I've seen that most of them don't have a family. Yeah. Because they are the ones that are expected to take care of that child. And if you're in an industry like fashion and music that are so fast paced, you know,
and you have to be so involved.
Yeah, 100%.
You cannot take care.
It's another type of baby that you have. Yeah. A career like that.
It's quite intense. Yeah. So obviously, it's a kind of an industry that you sort of have to choose if you want a family or not. Yeah. I think it's more like that because
you're right in a way.
Intense.
You shouldn't have to, but
then you get like Victoria Beckham and like Stella McCartney and Mary Catranja
and Madonna
they have families
and Shakira and
when I think about that thought, I always think about Shakira. If Shakira can have a baby while she's doing the Super Bowl, I can manage my life.
No, literally, but I do always think about the fact, you know, what are my priorities? At least I can only speak for my priorities right now because I don't know what they're gonna be in 2 years' time, 10 years' time. Things are gonna change. My life is gonna change, but I do obviously like think about this, and you know, for me at least, like I'm so passionate about what I want to do, and I bet you relate to this. That like I just need to make sure that baby turns out good. Yeah. Before I can think about any other babies of any kind.
I'm more about the stability. I want to make sure that
it's difficult though.
Yeah, because
you can't always choose the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I can't believe I'm sitting here talking about babies.
Yeah, this was like a bit of a sidetrack, which we weren't like planning going into, but you know, we're just having like.
I wanted to ask something because we're getting to the end of the interview as well, but I wanted to ask something that I'm curious about. If you weren't like a fashion designer, what would you be doing?
Oh God. Maybe a painter.
Well, that's cute.
Because I was always quite good at painting, but no, I don't think I could ever be anything else, to be honest, because there's something with fashion. You can wear your art and feel so powerful, whilst with a painting, okay, you can put it somewhere. I don't know, it's not the same.
I wouldn't get what you mean.
Yeah, so
I get what you mean.
I don't think I could ever be. I could never imagine myself to do anything else. No.
I mean, that's cool.
I love hearing that. I love hearing that.
I cannot imagine myself. I can imagine myself being a magician when I was a kid.
Fran has a background in magic.
When I was a kid, if I continued doing that instead of music, maybe I would be a magician today instead of a musician.
I could be a fashion designer.
Yeah.
But I'm much
You've always wanted to.
Yeah, that was my first. The first things that I was like, I'm gonna be a fashion designer, and for the longest time, I've always been designing clothes and just like I don't know. I love fashion, so I could be a designer. I could be a stylist as well, but I still much rather
I mean,
don't rule it out.
We need to.
I mean, I've been styling, like, we style ourselves and
we need to release merch, and we're gonna be releasing. We don't want to release merch as a normal band. We want to create.
Yeah, we don't want to just do like a
line.
logo t-shirt. We want to do something exciting.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
That would be your
I have
first.
There you go. That'll be the first
cameo in
time of
fashion
doing
design.
I wanted to ask, what are your kind of like ambitions, that the goals that drive you for your brand? Like,
Yeah,
do you
where
have
do
any?
you see it going? How far ahead do you like to think?
Well, I want to grow the brand because right now it's still very small. So eventually I'd like to make it known worldwide and make it... I would like to have my own catwalk shows, but I guess that's happening in the catwalk. But yeah, it's just keep growing it, keep inspiring people, influencing people, be a trendsetter. That's the most important thing for me. Not a trend follower.
Trendsetter, that's really
trendsetter. I do also like the idea. So I've been organizing pop-ups. So I do like the idea of bringing designers together. I don't see... The thing is with me, I don't see other designers as competitions. I see it as...
You're so right.
I see it as a community and
opportunities.
And the thing is, like, what I loved about doing pop-ups is that it's just... I love bringing all the creatives together and just sharing our knowledges together and just
sharing your network as
exactly
well.
And just putting our work out there and getting as much visibility as possible. And obviously we all help with getting the best spots in London because obviously
it's difficult.
As small brands we can't afford to get.
I mean, that's really good that you do that, because we've always thought
always
about that
say
thought
this.
like other musicians are not competition at all.
Yeah.
They are just like opportunities to work with people,
to
meet
understand
people,
each other,
support each
learn
other.
from each other.
Yes,
And
100%.
always
Enjoy the process together. Like, we're all gonna grow. I feel like a lot
Together.
of people don't realize we're all gonna grow together and be tomorrow's like.
You
Next,
usually in cities like London, creative usually grow together. Like if, for example, if your brand grows, your styling that you work with or your team will grow with you, and your peers and other designers around
it's
you.
a chain basically.
So I think that's really good that you do that, because there's not a lot of people that because it's a hassle, trying to bring people together is such a hassle.
I mean, some people might be overprotective with what they have achieved and the network, and they don't want to share with other people. But I don't think it's working that way.
No.
Because why compete with other people?
No.
I think it kills the...
And as we said at the beginning, everyone has their own path. So
yeah, exactly.
It's just, as much as you think it might be competition or whatever, it's just not.
And everyone is
because
different.
everyone's doing a different thing.
And their aesthetic is different, their work is different. Everyone's work is different.
Their selling point is different.
The industry is already tough enough to just like not help
Yeah,
each other.
exactly.
We shouldn't be throwing bricks on our own house.
Exactly.
It's just like...
No, it's so true.
So yeah, it's something that I would love to do, and would love to create this kind of community of doing pop-ups and
nice.
doing
I'm really excited for that, because I do
like
think that's a really good thing that you can be doing, to be honest. And it's something that is giving back to the community. It's not just about your brand, it's about other people sharing that space with you. So I think that's brilliant. And it's not very... I don't think it's done a lot in the fashion industry, because in music, for example, you get musicians that organize gigs.
Yeah, it's true.
It's very... And you do...
And there's a few different artists and stuff like that.
You do collabs, you do features with other artists.
Because obviously... Sorry, what were you saying?
So it's more common in the music industry than definitely in the fashion industry.
I do love to collaborate with like jewelry designers and stuff. And hopefully we'll get to collaborate with footwear designer for the catwalk. But I do love to bring different like handwritings within everything I do. So for sure,
No, that's so good. That's so good.
Well, before we finish, let's ask you a couple questions that we ask everyone. Which are... I can't remember.
I do remember. The first question is, if you could host a dinner party... Okay, wait. We love dinner parties. That's why we're asking this question. It's not just completely random.
You should come to a dinner party at our place.
Yes, would love to.
Yeah, you're so invited. We definitely need to organise that for the new year. But we love dinner parties. We love cooking, sharing food with friends, having a chat, having some wine, some beer, whatever. It's a nice time. So if you could host a dinner party and you could invite whoever you wanted, dead or alive, who would it be? You have up to 3 people, let's say.
I would say one, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Okay, I cancel that one.
I just have to I just have to breathe the same air and then I'll be done. That's it. That's all I need in my life. It's just, I want to know, I just want to speak to her and understand how she thinks. Like, it's just her being is just like, wow.
And how you got here and
how she got there.
Advice and
How it's incredible. I have so many things that I want to ask her. And Alexander McQueen.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just think he was a mastermind in terms of like pushing the feminine aesthetic, and just he was I would say he was the only artist that experimented with what's femininity and what's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
that's cool.
It's it would have been an honor to just sit next to him, basically.
Oh my God, yeah.
Absolutely.
That would be a really interesting table, to be honest, especially with Rihanna as well.
God,
I think that's like a really cool
really inspiring and insightful conversation.
Yeah, 100%. I think I would just sit there and be like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, the cats around you.
I'm like, it's too intimidating right
just
now.
here listening, guys. No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Right, and
the other question is the spotlight moment.
Oh, yeah.
So can you recommend us someone who you think is going to be kind of like the next icon in the making, basically?
Yeah.
Someone that you think that you admire. Can be someone famous, not famous, a peer.
Someone who you think has the potential to really, really become something, and is working really hard and is, I guess, inspiring you because of that.
I don't know how to pronounce her name. I think it's Carolina Vito.
Yeah.
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 Carolina Vito.
So
we can check.
Right? Yeah.
We can check and write it down.
We'll check and we'll put it there if that's right.
So basically, she's just joined Fashion East.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And she's doing this, like, she's creating these beautiful forms for plus size models, all types of plus size models. So I think she's bringing something completely fresh and new to the industry. I know there's been plus size models and all these things going on for a while. Yeah. But what has to be mentioned is that even with plus size models, it's very specific body type of plus size that they promote fashion brands right now. So I think she's really pushing something more inclusive, something more
like
different
real
types
diversity.
Exactly.
Real
Exactly.
Exactly.
Real diversity with making it beautiful and not covering up the body, you know?
Yes, that's cool.
So I think she's definitely gonna grow a lot.
Yeah, that sounds so cool. We'll have to check that out.
That's something that's definitely changing a lot in the fashion industry. Something good, and it's
thankfully.
changing really quick as well. Thanks to people like that that actually take that step, and because it's a risk,
Yeah,
it's
of
a
course.
risk.
But I think different like fashion cities have the different pace. I think London is quite fast.
Yeah.
Compared to, say, Paris or Milan, you know. Yeah, I think
100%.
even Madrid and Barcelona, they're like less advanced on that sense, on the inclusivity and just the open-mindedness of, the fashion industry in general. But we're really lucky that we're in London, though, because I think London is
a great place.
one of the ones driving the change as well.
Yeah.
Which I think is very exciting. So
I have to say, for sure. In Cyprus, I love Cyprus. I love the life there, but it's just like, even doing a pop-up is not even a thing there. So let alone anything.
I didn't know about what a pop-up was until I moved.
You know what? Or being an independent brand was an independent.
No, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about anything creative because. How would I?
I need to say,
it's crazy.
In the Canary Islands, my aunt, she used to own a shop. She wasn't a designer, but she would get designs and sell it in Madrid. And she would do a pop-up in my grandmother's house.
Oh, wow.
She would empty the
like a showroom, yeah.
like a showroom. She
That's
would empty
amazing.
the living room, and she would call all her friends to tell her friends, because it's really small.
Oh, it's a small, and then
That's the only way to do promo.
And the living room,
just call each other, and they will
Yes.
bring other people.
and she would bring like massive suitcase, and the living room would be filled with like 50-year-old women and 40-year-old women. Just,
Oh, and they were having the time of their lives.
yes,
I bet.
literally. That was the
Amazing.
first thought, the first memory I have.
Yeah, of a showroom.
Yeah.
That's so
showroom
cool
pop-up.
of your auntie to do that,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
really not that popular.
No.
I do remember this tiny fair, like fashion fair, that they used to do every year for local brands and stuff. But honestly, it was just once a year, and it was always the
right.
same brands, and yeah. And I didn't even register what it was and
Yeah.
why they were doing that, because I didn't understand how it worked.
Yeah, it's
essentially.
true.
Would you want to do something back home at some point? Kind
Yes,
of like
I'd love to.
bring back.
So I'm in a good position where a lot of designers back home contact me to
Yeah.
ask for advice.
yes.
So what I want to do with what I said with making a community and bringing
People together, yeah.
people together, I really want to help designers where are based abroad in smaller places that they don't get the exposure.
That's such important work.
Yes, so I do want to work
that's so
with
difficult.
designers back home and bring them into like prime spots in London. Even they don't have to live here, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's especially with Brexit and all these things. There's so many
Yeah,
complications
it's
right now.
complicated
So
now.
yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan.
Cool.
For
I
sure.
mean, I think that's amazing. I think what you're doing about
That's such necessary work.
bringing the community together, and especially not forgetting about the people that cannot afford to be in
Be
London.
here, yeah.
No, exactly.
Because
It's
now
not only that. It's like not only it's not only about affording. It's also like not being able to come and live
Yeah, not
here.
even
like
able to-
visa and all this
Yeah.
thing.
And some people
So-
cannot sustain the lifestyle, which is so fair enough. Not even, I'm not talking about money, but you know, there's a certain
It's
way
too
that
much.
people
Yeah,
live
exactly.
in the city that is just different to places that are not so big.
Yes, but I
So,
I do think that's great.
Yeah.
That's something great that you're doing. But yeah, I think we can end
We
it
can
there.
leave it on that note.
Amazing.
Yes.
Very
so
exciting
yeah,
stuff.
it's been a really great conversation.
Thank
Thanks
you
so much,
so
for having us in your studio.
Yes,
And
Thank
we love
you.
your work. We love working with you as well. You know this, and it's just very exciting to have you be a part of this and hear about everything you're doing, new endeavors. We always want to stay in touch and in the loop. So
Yes, of course you will be.
so yeah, we'll catch you with the next Icon in the Making for episode 3. So we'll see you later.
see ya.
Bye.